All right, guys, welcome back to JBSR Plays It. I'm just looking at the Buccaneers schedule because they've looked so bad. Because I knew they had the Steelers, at Saints, and then home for the Ravens coming up. And there is very strong potential that the Buccaneers are 0-6 going into their bye. Gives them 2 weeks to prepare for the Vikings at home, which they have a chance to win. And then I don't think they win another game all year. Except for maybe the Packers at home, depending on how they look. But other than that, if I was a betting man, if the over-under on the Buccaneers was 1.5, I would take the under. Because it's not looking good. But, okay, guys. So, now it is time to do my picks. Again, I had 10-6 last week, 28-19 overall. I'm not doing bad, especially compared to some of the ESPN analysts. I think in week 2, I guess that was a crazy week when I only went 8-8 and I was beating myself up, and other guys were going like 5-11. So it's not. Although I think Eric, I think he actually went like 9-7 or 10-6 because he was just a douchebag with his picks. So let's play the Falcons. Now let's get this game going. So, first off, the Thursday night stinker. We got the 1-2 Giants at the 1-2 Redskins. The 1-2 Redskins are looking like a good team, and 1-2 Giants look like a team in transition on their way to a 6-10 year, and just going to tick off a couple teams on the way. I'm taking the Redskins in this game. As much as they really need to change their name. And again, just change it to the Warriors. You don't have to change your color scheme, your logo, nothing. Warriors. That's it. That's all you got to do, and you're good. That's all you got to do. Although you might want to change that logo to your alternate logo that you wear on either the throwbacks or just they have the alternate logo. Maybe switching it to that wouldn't be a bad idea, but you don't really have to change anything else. Kirk Cousins might eat this Giants defense for breakfast. Or dinner, I guess, at this point. Oh, look, this actually shows the line. Line is Washington minus 3.5. All right. That sounds... I'd bet on the Redskins. Because the Giants look good against the Texans, but it wasn't really the Giants look good. It was that Ryan Fitzpatrick was Ryan Fitzpatrick for the Texans. So I'm definitely more confident in the Redskins. They've got pieces in place. Pierre Garçon is really underrated. Kirk Cousins is making throws that he should not be making for someone coming off the bench. And it might not be a matter of him fitting better in the system. He might just actually be a good pocket quarterback. And this will be, if he leads them to, say, a 9-5 record, and RG3 comes back, and Kirk Cousins, there's talk of him going to the Pro Bowl. You know, he's sitting at 3,400 yards and 25 touchdowns at that point after missing the first game and a half. Does Dan Snyder put RG3 back in? Does he force him back in? Because that's his guy. He has fired coaches over him. He has made no bones about the fact that Robert Griffin is his quarterback. Maybe it's his way to diversify because he's such a racist against Native Americans. But does he force RG3 back in, even though Cousins could? And I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he looks like it right now. But we haven't seen a lot out of him in this system. And now he's building up some confidence, and confidence goes a long way. Trust me, I mean, you build up confidence in, like, Madden. There's actually a confidence stat. I took the Titans in the other franchise, went 16-0. Everyone's confidence is maxed out to 99. Sim the next season, and they went 16-0 again. Confidence goes a long way. So even if he has some faults, he's still young enough, and he builds up his confidence, and he feels good about himself, then he can be dangerous. And if you want proof of that, look at how far Tony Romo's come in his career. basically doing the same thing. So if Kirk Cousins is looking like maybe he's potentially one of the best pure pocket passers in the league at that point, RG3 comes back, who hasn't looked sharp even when he was healthy, which, debatable if he's been healthy. And Dan Snyder forces him back in. What do you do? That's going to be interesting to see. I think RG3 should take the year off. I don't think he should come back this year. Especially with the injury he had that I will not mention. That's just, take it easy and just heal up. You know, the reason why your career is already spiraling downward is because you got injured and they put you back in. Learn from the Shanahan mistake and just take the year off. You're going to miss most of it anyways. You're only going to come back for 3 games. What do you got to prove? Because you need reps? I don't think so. So let him sit. But then that makes an interesting dilemma next season. If Kirk Cousins actually looks this good for the rest of the year, and he's not looking like we're going to put him in the elite status with Drew Brees or anything, but he could get up there with, say, Matt Ryan. Do we talk about leaving him in there as a potential franchise quarterback? And then what do you do with RG3? Who do you trade? You don't keep both of them on the roster. That's suicide. You know, unless you're planning on keeping RG3. Because you keep RG3, Cousins is useful because you need a good backup. But then do you keep RG3 when you think that he's going to get injured all the time and you need to have a $13 million a year backup quarterback? So then you trade. I don't know. If I was making a decision, I'd go with Cousins, but that's just my bias towards pocket passers. But again, we haven't seen much. We know what we got from RG3 in his rookie year. You know, who you can pretty much throw last year out the window for him. He wasn't 100%. But he wasn't looking good this year. But again, it's a new system. You're going to buy excuses all around. And I don't want to say excuses. They might be legitimate excuses. But at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is coming in and looking good so far. Keyword there, so far. You never know how long this is going to last. I don't know. But this would be a nice little showcase for him. Even if it is against kind of crappy competition. Next up, we got the Bills and Texans. You already know I'm taking Buffalo. But another week in a row where I feel like I can legitimize my pick. Ryan Fitzpatrick looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick. And as bad as E.J. Manuel might look, E.J. Manuel isn't making plays for his team, but he's also not killing his own team. And as much as that's not what you want out of a first-round pick, I would rather him not make mistakes than, say, pull a Mark Sanchez and kill his team. Or in this case, Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Texans have J.J. Watt and then all of their offensive talent with nobody to get them the ball, which is an interesting situation. Sounds like the Buffalo Bills, actually. A lot of similarities with these teams. The only difference is there is a lot more going on defense for the Bills. Even without Kiko Alonso, you know, they're looking good. So I'm taking the Bills. I'm not super confident in this one, but I'm also not super confident in the Texans. But it's just Ryan Fitzpatrick is such a streaky quarterback that I don't know which Fitzpatrick are we getting. Are we getting the 4 interception sort, or are we getting the 4 touchdown sort? That's pretty much how it goes with him. So if it's good Ryan Fitzpatrick this week, then the Bills are going down 38-14. And if it's the other way around, they'll win 38-14. You just read that one wrong. I don't know. Go Bills. Next game up, we got the Green Bay Packers going to Chicago against the Bears. This one is a little tricky to pick. Because on the one hand, the Bears have looked good. And on the other hand, the Packers haven't. But also, the Bears are at home. Everything is sort of leaning in the Bears' favor, but there's also 2 straight big night game wins. They're coming off a short week. I don't think a Monday night short week is necessarily as big as, say, going from Sunday to Thursday night. But it's still a short week. You know, they're on such a high right now, and that can only carry you so far. And is this the game where they come back down? I mean, the Packers seem like they got something to prove. You know, Packers losing here, and they're 0-3 on the road already. And legitimately, you have to go. If you want to look at it the most basic of concept, Marv Levy came up with the formula way back in the day, which is outdated now because of the division realignment. But basically, you went undefeated in your division, and then 500 against the rest of your conference. Or no. Undefeated against your division. Undefeated against your conference. And then he had a formula. It's outdated now. But basically, if you want the basic way to look at this now, you have to go undefeated at home and then 500 on the road, and that's 12-4, and that's what you got to do. And the Packers dropping to 0-3 on the road makes that 4-4 really difficult to attain. Especially if the Bears win this, then that gives them one hell of a cushion. Especially if the Lions can't get it done. So I'm this game's gonna suck to pick. Gut saying Chicago. We're going Chicago. Green Bay's favored in this game. Taking Chicago. This is the gut pick. Next up, we got the Titans at the Colts. I'm taking the Colts. Why wouldn't I? Jake Locker versus Andrew Luck. Andy Dalton. I don't really have anything else to say about this. You've got a terrible Titans team and a terrible Colts team, except for one player. What am I? What do you want? Realistically, what do you want? So, yeah, I got nothing else to really say about that. I'm taking the Colts all day. Panthers at Ravens in the Beat My Wife Bowl. Except both of the players who are wife beaters are out. Greg Hardy is on that list. And Ray Rice is without a team. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead. I'm taking Carolina, like I said, against the Ravens for the rest of the season. Now, realistically, I think this is going to be a close game. Realistically, I don't believe in the Ravens that much. And the Panthers, it depends on how beat up they are. So this is going to be, I don't know. It's weird. This week is not the greatest game or greatest week for games, but at the same time, you can't pick any. Like it's tough to pick. You never know. It could go either way because all the dominant teams are out. So there's no safe bets this week, except for the Colts over the Titans. But then again, it depends on how much the rest of the team lets Andrew Luck down. So this could be interesting. Next up, we got the Lions at the Jets. The Jets are not looking good. They blew a lead. They can't get back. They're only winning against the Raiders, who are not that good. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Lions here. Even though the Lions are a streaky team, take the Lions. Oh, cool, I got it. Yeah, I mean, there's not... Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson will probably put up big numbers because it's not like the Jets have anyone in their secondary, unless you actually think D. Milliner is actually good. Because I hate to tell you this, he's not. It's just Geno Smith just What do you expect that guy to do? Is Decker going to be back in this game? I don't know. Is that going to change my pick? Not really. And again, it's a matter of Rex Ryan. I like him. You know, I think he's a good coach. I think he makes terrible decisions who his offensive coordinator should be, but other than that, I think he's a good coach. But he's in a lame duck season. He was in a lame duck season last year. He's going to be lame duck for the rest of his tenure with the Jets unless they pull it around. But they're not giving him any talent. So, I mean, what did they? They were 8-8 last year, so it's not like. And last year was the purge where they had to get rid of everybody because of the freaking salary cap, and he pulled off 8-8. That should hold some value, and I feel like it doesn't. I just realized what the time on the clock was. I don't know. Poor Rex, but you know what? Someone else in the Bills division that's going to lose. And that's how I have to look at it. How did that end up? I hate lofting the ball. It does not pay off in this game. All right, next up, Buccaneers at Steelers. I am taking Pittsburgh. I am taking Pittsburgh to win twice. Actually, I'm not. I think Pittsburgh is going to come down. They had a big win last week. I'm not as confident. I picked them to win the division. Not anymore. And not only to do with the Bengals, I honestly would pick the Browns over them right now because they're just not looking that good. But the Buccaneers are just terrible. So I think the Steelers will have an off game this week and then still win like 25-10. It's not a good time for Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm not sorry. Line is 7.5. That is nuts. No, I just saw another one of the lines. It's not that bad anymore. Dolphins at Raiders. Taking the Dolphins. Tannehill is going to be pissed because they were trying to bench him. He's going to be pissed. And I don't blame him. And the Raiders just aren't good. You know, Derek Carr is showing flashes, literally drive to drive, on whether or not he can be the guy. Which speaks a lot because I don't know who their receivers are, but I know they're basically just cast-offs and just not very good guys. Okay, Doug Martin, you just go Superman. Go ahead. Yeah, the line's only -4. That tells you the Raiders are terrible, and the Dolphins aren't exactly looking great. You know, it's like they beat the Patriots, but that is no longer looking that impressive anymore. So, I don't know. But here comes the fun game with a line of -13.5, and you can guess who it's for. Jaguars at the Chargers. The Jaguars, I don't even know if this is the worst spread they've faced so far this year, and they can't cover. They'll be -12, and they're losing by 25. You know, it's just, it's actually kind of hilarious. No. Oh, he got it. Ooh, I thought he didn't. Yeah, there's no reason not to take the Chargers. I wouldn't go for the points. Because I feel like they're going to have an off game. And if I were them, I'd be like, hey, listen, it's the Jaguars coming to town. Go easy on Blake Bortles. We don't want to ruin this guy's life. Or at least if I was the coach of the Chargers, I'd just be like, we don't need sacks. Just get up in his face and just stand there and then throw your hands up so he can't throw the ball. And then he'll take a knee. Don't hit him, because they'll get 25 sacks. And I don't even think they have a good pass rush. But just don't hit him. Yeah, the Jaguars is looking terrible, and the Chargers are looking really good. And that's not a good combination. So yeah, Chargers all day. Next up, Falcons at the Vikings. I am taking Atlanta. The spread's only -3. I guess Vegas really likes Teddy Bridgewater. And that's going to make it interesting. Oh my God, Cordarrelle Patterson is the Vikings leader in receiving yards and rushing yards. Wow. The offense that the Falcons have been putting up, I think, slows down here. Mike Zimmer is a great coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. He will make the most out of the talent that he has there, and I think they have more talent on defense than they do on offense. They just won't be able to score any points. So the Falcons might only get 25 points, which I say only, but they scored 56 last week. But the Vikings might not hit 14. So it's not going to be a good season in Minnesota. I don't know what their schedule looks like. And I think they're honestly a better team. Wow, I totally should have thrown whatever. It's not a good year for them. You lose Adrian Peterson. And it sucks because if Adrian Peterson is there, maybe they fare a little bit better. Maybe they're not the laughing stock of the league. So, I don't know. Next up, we got the Eagles, the 49ers. Here's the interesting part. Number one, San Francisco is up at -5. And I think it's because everyone thinks that they're a better team because they were a better team and they're at home. The 49ers get annihilated in the second half of games. And the Eagles only play the second half. So the 49ers could have a 28-0 lead going into the half, and they'll lose 45-28. But I don't trust the Eagles. I really don't trust the Eagles. And I don't think the 49ers are going to be... they might be a 6-10 team. But I think the Eagles are looking like a 10-6 team. They got to lose at some point. And the Eagles are not playing like a 4-0 team. So there's my upset. I'm going to take San Francisco. That's my upset special, I guess. Next up, you got the Saints at the Cowboys. And we will go back to picking against the Cowboys because it's so much fun. So definitely go in New Orleans to get back up to 500 and start to compete. He was out of bounds. I already know it. Why are you wasting my time with a review? He didn't even attempt to stay in bounds. Well, I do only have one more pick after this. So I guess I need it extended? Oh, wait, no, I don't. Yeah, the Cowboys look good in the come from behind last week. Here, if Jason Garrett, allow me to save your job. Run the ball with DeMarco Murray 25 times a game. Pass the ball 25 times a game. Well, have Romo pass it 30 times a game, and then have your other running backs or whoever it may be, have them run it 6. So you're technically running more. But DeMarco Murray is at 75 carries, and they're 2-1. That's averaging 25 a game. That's averaging 120-something a game. Actually, almost 130 yards a game and a touchdown a game. Give him the ball all the time. And watch the fireworks. But yeah, I'm going with the Saints here because I think the Saints need this more. Even though I think Ingram's out because he's hurt, the Saints can't afford not to win. And then the Monday night game. You know what? I'm 1-2 on Monday night games. I have given up on being correct on Monday night games. I'm never right. I'm never right. So you know what? We're going with the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Patriots. Chiefs are at home. Patriots have looked like crap. Chiefs haven't looked that bad the last 2 weeks, even though they're only 1-1. Alex Smith has more yards and more touchdowns than Tom Brady on fewer pass attempts. But I think he also had 3 picks in that first game. But, Patriots have looked terrible. This will probably be their coming out party. I'm always wrong, but you know what? Let's have fun with it. Screw it. I'll probably only be 7-8 going, or 6-5 or 5-6, whatever math ends up being. So it's not like I'm gonna go over 500 this week. Anyways, let's just have some fun and let's go with the Chiefs beating the Patriots. 2 upset specials this week. Usually play it pretty safe, but let's go with two upset specials. Let's do it. Seems like, ooh, you just got ball at the half-yard line. Damn. They're just going to give me this? All right, I'll take it. My inefficient offense. I'm not playing the Browns anymore. I just realized I'm playing the Falcons. This is a different game. That's what happens when you film these episodes back-to-back. But yeah, the Patriots, I mean, they're winning. They're 2-1. They're tied for first place with the Bills. They're 0-1 in their division already. They have looked ugly. So they dropped the one to Miami. They handled the Vikings pretty well, considering the Vikings were reeling. And then they barely won against Oakland. And I know they had the lead for pretty much that entire game, but a 7-point margin is not a good sign. So I'm going to go ahead and pick against the Patriots. Because it seems like fun. Because if I'm right, then I'll be elated. And if I'm wrong, well, I'd rather be wrong and have the Patriots win than be right and have the Patriots win. So we'll have a little fun with it. Let's go with the Chiefs. And then the buys this week, which for some reason... Oh, I got to click schedule, don't I? Oh, there it is. Oh, I'll check your buys. Oh, no, it is a running play. Okay. The buys this week, you got Cincinnati, Cleveland, Denver, St. Louis, Arizona, and Seattle. Cincinnati, Denver, Arizona, and Seattle are 4 of the best teams in the league, you got to figure. Even if Arizona is barely getting in there, winning their games, they're still winning. They're winning even though they're beat up. I don't know if they'll be at full strength at the end of the year, but... You know, that's, the Bengals. There goes my safe pick. And Cleveland could have been an interesting matchup, but, St. Louis, I think, kind of needed I think some of these teams needed the week off. The Seahawks and Broncos are going to be drained after this. Cleveland might like it to sort of fine-tune. Bengals didn't really need it. They seemed fine. Arizona probably didn't want it. But, this is, for some reason, I thought when the Texans came into the league, I thought the buys didn't start until week 6 for some reason. Was this part of the lockout deal? Or have they been doing this the whole time and I haven't been paying attention? I always felt bad for the team that, back when there were only 31 teams, which was for a few years there, because it was, 99, 2000, 2001? So 3 years there. After the Browns came back, where teams would have a bye week in week 1. That has to be the worst. Like, week 9 seems like the perfect time. You play 8 games, take a break, and you play 8 more. And that had to be unfortunate. No, I'm not doing a very good time stalling for time. Thank you for asking. It's just... I don't know. It seems a little early, week 4. Like, I feel like you should at least be able to get 4 games in. Maybe week 5 you start them up. It just seems a little early to me. Who is my leading? I feel like I passed the ball to everyone who I shouldn't be. Vincent Jackson has 2. Let me actually go to my team. Mike Evans with 1. Stoker with 1. Myers with 1. Shepard with 1. Oh, I didn't pass to Lewis Murphy in this game. Okay. I don't know. It definitely seems a little too early for a buy for me. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I have been many times in the past. I will probably be many times on these predictions. But this will be an interesting / ugly week of football. And we're all going to have to pay attention to it. So, I don't know. Let's advance the week. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Nice little shorter episode here, and I actually ran out of stuff to talk about for the last 5 minutes. But if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of these type of videos, please subscribe. Should be back hopefully with a full week of games full week next week. And like I said, if anything interesting pops up, you will see a bonus episode on Saturday. Where I just talk about that. It'll probably be a short one, but I don't think. Hopefully nothing else pops up. But then again, you never know. Maybe that independent investigation report will come back already. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time.